gentlemen, Ponder. This is real, people. This is not a drill.
It's time for Points to Ponder.
Yes, I admit I got a thinking problem.
All right, your mic is hot in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Your mic is hot. Make it hot.
Good Wednesday morning to you, and welcome to Points to Ponder. I'm Ron Ponder, and we've got a special program today. You've heard us talk about it all week and all last week. We have a debate between the two candidates for 50th District Representative, Todd Bosley, who is the Democratic challenger to the incumbent, the Republican incumbent, Todd Snitchler. We also have Martin Olson in the house. As you know, he's the, I guess, author would be a good word to call him, of the Stark County Political Report. He's videotaping this, so you can also see a videotape of both Todds on his blog.
Get in on the conversation. It's Snitchler versus Bosley. The battle of the Todds.
And welcome back to our program. You are listening to Points to Ponder, and I'm Ron Ponder. Today we have the first of, hopefully, many debates in our studio during this political season. We have Todd Bosley, Democratic challenger to Todd Snitchler, the Republican incumbent for the 50th District House race. And what we're going to do is we're going to give each candidate, we tossed a coin before we started, and the first candidate will come on and have 3 minutes or so to explain who they are. The second candidate will have 3 minutes to do the same thing. And then I'll ask certain questions of the candidates. They'll also have an opportunity to follow up my questions to their opponent. If they mentioned, Martin Olson's in the house with his trusty video camera, and you can see actually this entire debate on his political blog, Stark County Political Report. And welcome back to our program. You're listening to Points to Ponder, and I'm Ron Ponder. We've got Todd Bosley and Todd Snitchler both here in our studios. They're debating why we should vote for one of them over the other for the 50th District here in the state of Ohio. We talked about the performance audit that both candidates do support, variations of that performance audit. Both of them have talked about creation of jobs. Obviously, we know that Ohio has lost a lot of jobs. Let's go with you first, Todd Snitchler. As the incumbent, what have you done to try to help create jobs, and what do you want to do the same thing?
Ron, I think you've hit on it. This is the #1 issue we hear about in talking with voters when we are out door to door, when they come to do events, when they contact our office. Jobs is the key issue. What we've done is we've tried to introduce a number of bills that would allow us to kickstart Ohio's economy. No one bill that's been introduced is going to be the silver bullet that will blossom 500,000 new jobs.
Too bad.
If I had that idea, I'd probably be governor. But what we need to do is start to take a different look at how we're addressing some of these issues. We have to say, if Ohio's tax structure is unfavorable and not conducive to having businesses located here, that needs to be addressed. If our regulatory climate is burdensome and companies say, I'm either not going to look at Ohio or I'm going to leave to go somewhere else like NCR did for any number of reasons, we need to address those issues and make sure that Ohio is an attractive place to do business. And I say repeatedly because I hear folks on both sides of the aisle say things the wrong way, in my opinion, which is to say we need to create jobs. Well, I'm overhead as a state representative. I don't create any jobs. My job as state representative is to create a climate where entrepreneurs and business owners have the opportunity to grow business, start business, and be able to be successful in the state of Ohio. And and Mr. Bosley's right. If we solve that problem, we will solve our tax revenue problem over a longer term period. It's not going to happen overnight. But some of these bills that have been introduced have had one hearing or no hearings. They haven't been budged. And I think that's unfortunate because this is a nonpartisan issue. Everybody, Republicans, Democrats, and Independents, want to be back to work, and we want to get them back to work. We can argue about partisan issues, later when unemployment is back down below 5% where it used to be. But for now, this ought to be a common theme that we ought to be able to work together on. And we've tried to do that with a number of the bills that we've introduced. In fact, I've introduced 12 bills this General Assembly, tied for the most in my caucus, 8 of which have had Democrat joint sponsors or co-sponsors. So I've tried to work with folks from across the aisle and be able to say these ideas make some sense, and clearly a number of those folks agree, or they wouldn't have joined on the bills that we've introduced.
Okay. Todd Bosley, how would you as a state representative try to help create employment?
And that's a great question. I want to clear up something right off the bat, though. We can have great ideas. If we don't understand how to sell those ideas, we will get nowhere. And I firmly believe that's where the 50th District is right now. There have been mediocre ideas with no sales pitch behind them, and as a result, we've gotten nowhere. What we need to look at, first of all, to solve the problem we have in Ohio of jobs, is creating partnerships in Ohio. There's too much fighting going on down there. People go to Columbus and they decide it's a battle rather than trying to solve the problem. I've formed a personal relationship with Speaker Armand Budish. He's a great man.
Democrat.
He's a Democrat. He's a great
Leader
man.
of the
He's the
House.
Speaker of the House. And he has told me in no uncertain terms, he's taken me aside and shown me how to get things done, how it should work in Columbus, how we should all work together, not fight, not argue.
Who is the Senate leader who's a Republican there? What's his name?
Bill Harris.
Bill Harris. Have you had the same meeting with Bill Harris?
I have not, because I'm running for Speaker of the House.
Okay, but you're talking about cooperation, and you've talked with the Democrat, but do you plan on talking to...
I do, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely I plan on talking, but I'm trying to explain that as far as the House goes, we have to work together to try to make this happen.
Okay.
And when we look at Stark County, where I serve as the Stark County Commissioner, we brought a company here about 1.5 years ago called Secure Data 365. It's a data center. We do not have a large data center, or didn't have a large data center in Stark County prior to that. It's a $10 million project. It's projected to take almost 100, or bring in almost 100 jobs, and these are jobs that pay $40,000 plus. As a result of that, it makes it easier now for Stark County to bring business here because we have a data center. So when other companies want to locate here, they don't have to build that data center. It's already existing. It encompasses companies such as manufacturing, healthcare, IT centers, all different kinds. In the state of Ohio, we need to look at bringing those kind of businesses here. How do we create jobs? That was the question I originally was answered. We have to get aggressive. We have to be able to compete with states like Michigan and Indiana. We only do that in one way, by aggressively seeking companies to come here and to get our people that are in the state of Ohio to form companies here. We need to do that by offering very aggressive tax incentives. In other words, if you come to the state of Ohio, you may be able to operate for a year tax-free to get set up so that we can build a business. But that is not going on right now. It's not, in my estimation, been productive. It's not been productive for the 50th. The 50th District is just flailing. There isn't a lot going on, and we have to get people in Columbus who can work with other folks. I do it on the county level every day. I have to work with Democrats and Republicans at the state level, at the county level, at the township level. And I believe that training, that experience will serve me well there. The only way we're going to solve our problems is by getting jobs here, and we have to be aggressive to do that.
Okay, and one of the ways you say is by tax incentives.
Absolutely.
Okay, and when we come back, we do have to take a break. When we come back, I want to follow up with that because one of the things that Mr. Snitchler mentioned was regulations. I want to get your take on that and other incentives. We'll be right back. You're listening to Points to Ponder. I'm Ron Ponder. Todd Snitchler, Todd Bosley in the House. 50th District Representative is the position that they're vying for.